Most people end their day believing they've made a healthy choice, perhaps by reaching for a piece of fruit before bedtime. After all, fruit is nature's gift, rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. But what if I told you that the very fruit you consider harmless, perhaps even heart healthy, could silently be increasing your risk of stroke and heart attack while you sleep? This isn't an exaggeration. It's a truth buried beneath marketing labels and half-told nutrition advice. Doctors around the world have started to warn that late-night fruit consumption can trigger dangerous spikes in blood sugar, elevate blood pressure, and disrupt the delicate balance of your cardiovascular system. And yet, millions continue this nightly habit without ever questioning it. Imagine lying in bed, unaware that your last snack of the evening is forcing your pancreas and heart into overdrive. While you're trying to rest, your body is battling sugar surges and a cascade of hormonal responses. The fruit you thought was helping your digestion may actually be causing blood vessels to stiffen and clotting factors to rise. By morning, this silent storm could manifest in the most terrifying ways: a sudden stroke, chest pain, or even a heart attack. These aren't distant possibilities reserved for the elderly. They are real risks documented across age groups, particularly in those who already struggle with hypertension, diabetes, or obesity. The tragedy is that the health industry rarely tells the whole story. Yes, fruit is packed with nutrients, but context is everything. Eating the right fruit at the wrong time can be just as harmful as eating processed junk food. Late at night, your metabolism slows, your body shifts to repair mode, and insulin sensitivity decreases. This means sugars from certain fruits linger longer in your bloodstream, raising inflammatory markers and straining your arteries. When combined with a sedentary lifestyle or late dinners heavy in carbohydrates, that one innocent bedtime fruit can become the final push toward a cardiovascular crisis. In this series, we will uncover which fruits are safe and which ones you must avoid before bedtime if you want to protect your heart and brain. More importantly, you'll discover the scientific reasons behind these warnings, why the body reacts differently during the night, what mechanisms are at play, and how you can make small adjustments to drastically reduce your risk of stroke and heart attack. By the end, you'll never look at your evening snack the same way again. Tonight's choices could determine tomorrow's health, and ignorance is no longer an option. It may surprise you to learn that the biggest culprit isn't some rare or exotic food. It's the fruit that almost every household keeps on the counter or in the fridge, the banana. Yes, the same banana that athletes praise for quick energy and that doctors often recommend for potassium intake. Bananas are undoubtedly nutritious when eaten at the right time of day, but at night, they can become silent saboteurs. Packed with sugar and fast-digesting carbohydrates, bananas spike blood glucose levels almost instantly. During the day, your body can manage this surge thanks to higher insulin sensitivity and more activity. But at night, when metabolism slows down and energy demands are lower, that same sugar lingers in your bloodstream, thickening it, raising blood pressure, and increasing clot risk. What you thought was a harmless snack before bed could in fact be priming your body for a cardiovascular event. The science is straightforward, yet alarming. Bananas have a high glycemic load, which means they cause a rapid rise in blood sugar. At bedtime, insulin production is less efficient, so the sugar isn't processed properly. This unbalanced sugar load triggers stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, disrupting sleep cycles and elevating blood pressure. More importantly, high nighttime glucose has been linked to endothelial dysfunction, the weakening of the delicate lining of your blood vessels. When the endothelium is compromised, blood clots form more easily, arteries harden, and circulation falters. It is within these silent shifts that the risk of stroke and heart attack dramatically increases. For someone already vulnerable due to age, weight, or family history, eating a banana before bed could be far more dangerous than they ever imagined. Another overlooked danger lies in the mineral balance bananas bring to the table. While potassium is vital for heart health, consuming it in concentrated amounts at night can paradoxically stress the kidneys and heart, especially in individuals with undiagnosed kidney issues or hypertension. The body works hard overnight to regulate electrolytes and fluid levels, but adding a heavy potassium load at the wrong time can disrupt this balance. Over time, this may contribute to irregular heart rhythms, water retention, and increased cardiovascular strain. Doctors who have studied nocturnal blood pressure patterns note that nighttime surges are far more predictive of stroke and heart attack than daytime readings. In this light, the banana transforms from a healthy fruit into a dangerous bedtime gamble. It's not just bananas that carry this risk. Other sweet fruits, grapes, mangoes, and even pineapples fall into the same trap of high sugar release at the wrong time of day. But bananas remain the most common offender because they are convenient, affordable, and widely consumed as a late-night filler. The key lesson here is not that fruit is bad, but that timing and context make all the difference. Your body isn't designed to process large sugar loads when it should be resting and repairing. Choosing a banana at 10 p.m. may feel like a small choice, but it could be the difference between waking up refreshed or not waking up at all. As shocking as it sounds, heart health is shaped by habits most of us dismiss as trivial. The good news is that awareness is power, and once you know which fruits to avoid, you can protect your body from unnecessary danger. When the sun goes down, your body transitions into repair and recovery mode. This shift is guided by circadian rhythms, biological clocks that control everything from hormone release to blood pressure patterns. During the night, insulin sensitivity naturally decreases, meaning your body is less capable of handling sugars. This is intentional. Energy demands are lower, so your body prioritizes cellular repair, memory consolidation, and hormonal balance over digestion. However, when you introduce high-sugar fruits like bananas, grapes, or mangoes into this delicate system, you force your body to divert resources toward breaking down glucose it no longer needs. Instead of resting, your pancreas is forced to churn out insulin, your liver struggles to store excess sugar, and your bloodstream remains saturated with glucose. This imbalance sets the stage for vascular damage that silently progresses over time. The circulatory system is particularly vulnerable during sleep. Normally, blood pressure drops at night, giving arteries a much-needed rest. But sugar spikes from late-night fruit act like an alarm bell, causing adrenaline release, raising heart rate, and preventing this natural nocturnal dip. Without it, your cardiovascular system remains under constant pressure, increasing the likelihood of clots forming in narrowed arteries. Studies confirm that individuals who lack this nighttime blood pressure drop are at significantly higher risk of stroke and heart attack. By disturbing your natural rhythm with fruit sugars, you are unknowingly robbing your heart of its healing window and inviting disaster to strike. There's also a hidden connection between nighttime sugar intake and sleep quality. Elevated glucose and insulin levels interfere with melatonin, the hormone responsible for regulating sleep cycles. This disruption can shorten deep sleep phases, leaving you groggy and unrest in the morning. Poor sleep in turn raises cortisol levels, a stress hormone that further increases blood pressure and promotes inflammation in the arteries. The cycle becomes vicious. Late fruit causes poor sleep. Poor sleep raises stress hormones damage blood vessels, and damaged blood vessels set the stage for cardiovascular catastrophe. What starts as a small habit ends up reshaping the very biology that keeps your heart and brain safe. Think of your body at night like a factory that closes for maintenance. The machines slow down, the lights dim, and the repair crews step in. Now imagine dumping truckloads of raw materials, sugar, and carbohydrates into that factory when no one is ready to process them. The result is chaos. Excess fuel piles up, systems are overloaded, and fragile equipment breaks under pressure. That is exactly what happens when you eat the wrong fruit before bedtime. While you sleep peacefully, your body is thrown into turmoil, quietly building risks that may not appear for weeks, months, or years, until one night they suddenly do, with devastating consequences. Your body is not an enemy. It constantly tries to warn you when something is going wrong. Unfortunately, most people dismiss these signals as minor annoyances, never realizing they may be the first signs of cardiovascular stress triggered by bad nighttime eating habits. One of the earliest red flags is restless sleep. If you often wake up in the middle of the night sweating, with a racing heartbeat or even vivid nightmares, that could be your body responding to glucose surges. The spike in blood sugar from fruits like bananas, grapes, or mangoes can trigger stress hormones such as adrenaline, which not only disrupt your sleep, but also strain your heart and arteries. Instead of waking refreshed, you feel groggy, tired, or with an unexplained heaviness in your chest, a silent cry from your body that something is not right. Morning headaches are another overlooked symptom. Many dismiss them as stress or poor posture, but they often signal nocturnal blood pressure surges. When sugar lingers in the bloodstream overnight, it thickens the blood, forcing the heart to pump harder. The result is elevated nighttime pressure, which carries into the early morning hours. This is why strokes and heart attacks are statistically more common between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m., precisely the time when your cardiovascular system is already under maximum strain. If you regularly wake up with headaches, dizziness, or even a dry mouth, these are not coincidences. They may be the first signs that your late-night fruit habit is damaging your vascular health. Another symptom people tend to ignore is swelling in the ankles or legs. This occurs when excess sugar and potassium from nighttime fruits overwhelm the kidneys and alter fluid balance. Instead of flushing smoothly, your system retains water, creating puffiness that's visible in the lower extremities. Alongside swelling, you may also notice tingling sensations in the hands or feet, which could indicate nerve irritation from fluctuating blood sugar levels. Over time, these subtle signs escalate into more severe complications, irregular heartbeats, chest tightness, or even unexplained fatigue during the day. The tragedy is that people often chase quick fixes like painkillers or sleeping pills, never addressing the root cause, the very food they consume before bed. Ignoring these early warnings is like hearing the fire alarm and refusing to evacuate. The body is screaming for help, but without understanding the link between nighttime eating and cardiovascular stress, most people shrug it off. That is why education is so vital. By recognizing the patterns, poor sleep, morning headaches, swelling, fatigue, you can take control before irreversible damage sets in. Remember, strokes and heart attacks rarely happen out of nowhere. They are the result of years of silent strain, often triggered by small daily choices. And in this case, that harmless fruit at night may be the spark that lights the fire. The earlier you listen to your body, the greater your chance of stopping the disaster before it strikes. When it comes to health, anecdotes and opinions can be misleading, but scientific research shines a light on the truth. Over the past 2 decades, numerous studies have connected late-night eating, especially sugary foods, to cardiovascular problems. A large-scale Japanese study found that people who consumed fruits high in sugar within 2 hours of bedtime had a 32% higher risk of developing hypertension compared to those who avoided them. Another investigation published in the Journal of the American Heart Association revealed that late-night glucose spikes were strongly correlated with early morning strokes, the most fatal kind. Researchers concluded that what we eat at night matters just as much as what we eat during the day, sometimes even more. A landmark study from Harvard tracked more than 70,000 individuals over several years, monitoring their dietary habits and cardiovascular outcomes. The findings were astonishing. Those who frequently ate fruits or desserts late at night showed significantly higher rates of heart disease. The researchers highlighted a simple reason. Insulin resistance is naturally higher in the evening, meaning sugar is less efficiently metabolized. As a result, nighttime sugar leads to greater fat storage, endothelial damage, and increased inflammation. These biological changes, repeated night after night, silently erode cardiovascular health until a critical event occurs. European studies echoed these warnings. A Spanish trial found that nighttime sugar intake directly impaired blood pressure regulation. Volunteers who ate high-sugar fruits before bed consistently lost their nocturnal dip, the natural nighttime drop in blood pressure that protects the arteries. Without this dip, their cardiovascular systems were forced to operate under constant stress, increasing the likelihood of clot formation. In another clinical experiment, subjects who consumed bananas before bed not only showed higher overnight blood glucose levels, but also experienced reduced sleep quality and elevated morning cortisol. This combination is particularly lethal for the heart, as cortisol promotes artery hardening. Even the World Health Organization has cautioned against high sugar intake in the evening, emphasizing that metabolic rates decline at night. Nutrition experts now agree that the timing of food is just as important as the type of food. Eating an apple in the morning may be protective, but eating the same apple right before bed may contribute to long-term vascular damage. These studies are not meant to demonize fruit, but to wake us up to the reality that biology changes with the clock. Ignoring the science means ignoring the warnings. And as countless patients have learned too late, the heart does not forgive ignorance. For years, doctors suspected that eating fruit before bed could cause more harm than good, but now the research is undeniable. Large population studies consistently show that late-night sugar intake, whether from sweets, soft drinks, or high-sugar fruit, directly increases cardiovascular risk. In Japan, scientists tracked adults who ate fruit within 2 hours of bedtime and found a dramatic rise in hypertension cases compared to those who avoided it. In Spain, a clinical trial revealed that eating bananas or grapes at night prevented the natural blood pressure dip the body needs during sleep. Without that dip, arteries never get the rest they require, staying stiff and overworked until a stroke or heart attack strikes. These findings leave no doubt what you eat at night matters. Harvard researchers also uncovered a startling truth. Monitoring over 70,000 participants, they discovered that those who consumed fruit at night, especially bananas, mangoes, and grapes, showed significantly higher rates of heart disease over time. The explanation was simple but sobering. Insulin resistance rises in the evening. When sugar arrives in the bloodstream at night, the body cannot process it efficiently, leading to prolonged glucose exposure. This damages vessel walls, fuels inflammation, and raises clotting risks. In effect, fruit that seems harmless in the morning turns into a cardiovascular toxin when consumed before bed. The problem is not the nutrients inside fruit. Vitamins and minerals are undeniably beneficial, but the timing of delivery. Studies prove that identical foods have different effects depending on the time of day. A banana at breakfast provides quick fuel. The same banana at night overwhelms your system and lingers as a dangerous sugar load. Nighttime eating has even been linked to early morning strokes, the deadliest kind, because sugar remains in the blood throughout sleep, increasing pressure in fragile vessels just before waking. What people think of as a healthy night snack is often the hidden trigger for their worst health crises. This body of evidence leaves no room for excuses. Scientists from Asia, Europe, and America all agree. If you value your heart and brain, you must respect your circadian rhythm. Eating high-sugar fruit at the wrong time doesn't just add calories, it rewires the body in ways that promote disease. The verdict is in, and it is crystal clear. Late-night fruit can kill, and the science proves it. Not all fruits are villains, and you don't need to give up your evening snack entirely. The secret is knowing which fruits work with your body at night instead of against it. Low-sugar, high-fiber fruits like blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are excellent choices. They release glucose slowly, protecting you from the dangerous sugar spikes that damage arteries. On top of that, berries are packed with antioxidants that repair blood vessel walls and fight inflammation while you sleep. Instead of waking with morning brain fog or headaches, you wake restored, your heart supported instead of strained. Another surprisingly good option is kiwi. Unlike bananas or grapes, kiwis are low in sugar but high in vitamin C, potassium, and serotonin precursors. Studies show that 2 kiwis before bed not only improve sleep quality, but also lower oxidative stress in the cardiovascular system. This means your body can rest without the hidden storm of elevated glucose and blood pressure. Kiwis give you the sweetness you crave while helping your arteries relax and repair. Choosing kiwi over mango is not just a dietary swap, it's a heart-saving decision. Cherries also stand out as a fruit that supports sleep instead of sabotaging it. Rich in natural melatonin, they help regulate circadian rhythms and promote deep rest. Unlike bananas, cherries don't flood your bloodstream with sugar. Instead, they deliver steady energy while calming inflammation and protecting blood vessels. People who add cherries to their nighttime routine often report better rest and sharper mornings. The difference lies in balance. Cherries align with the body's night mode, while sugary fruits push against it. Apples and pears, eaten in moderation, can also be safe. Their high fiber content slows sugar absorption and when paired with a handful of almonds or walnuts, they provide satiety without spiking glucose. The key is not elimination, but smart substitution. By choosing low glycemic fruits in small portions, you can satisfy your cravings, protect your heart, and still enjoy a sweet bite before sleep. The lesson is simple. Fruit is not the enemy, but timing and type are everything. Choose wisely at night, and you transform a dangerous habit into a protective one.